Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and we are back again with another TV unboxing on the channel. But this time we are getting hands-on with one of LG's newest QNEDs, the 2023 Mini-LED TV. So the model that I have here is the 75-inch QNED 86, and this thing is packing. I'm not just talking about the fact that it's massive, I'm talking HDMI 2.1, 120Hz, 4K, precision local dimming, and even Dolby Vision. It kind of ticks every box for both movies and gaming, and it's priced pretty well. So today we're going to get it set up and check out what this TV looks like on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, as well as what it offers over some of the other TVs. Also, before we jump in, if you like gaming and tech, I have recently started a newsletter where I provide regular updates about gaming news, tips, giveaways, and loads more. So feel free to join that in the description below. Okay, and here we have the QNED 86, and this box is massive. I've put the dimensions on screen now just in case you were thinking of picking this up and putting it in your car or on your bike, but this is big. Then inside the box it comes with all of the usual items and accessories that you would expect. We've got the manuals and the warranty information, which we know we should read but we probably won't. There's a magic remote control, batteries, screws, and the stand. Now this stand is made up of 3 parts. There's the large piece that sits on the back of the TV, the metal sheet that slots underneath, and this plastic one that will go on the back. Now in the past you would take the TV out of the box and you would either lie it flat on the box or on a table to install the stand. But what I like this year is they've actually designed the box in a way that installing the stand is so much easier. You do not and should not need to lay this down. All you need to do is take these 3 pieces of the polystyrene that are inside the box and create a kind of temporary stand. Then you just need to lift the TV out of the box and slot it straight into the stand. It is surprisingly sturdy on here as well. Okay, then we have the stand, and as mentioned before, this is made up of 3 parts. It's just a case of slotting these 2 pieces together and fitting the screws. And then you take the stand and you install it straight onto the back of the TV as it's in the polystyrene. And that really is it, the stand is now fitted. Now you will obviously need 2 of you to lift the TV and put it on your unit, but it's definitely far easier than I've ever done before. Then it's a case of installing all of the HDMI cables, network cable and power, and we're ready to run through the setup. On the LG TVs, the setup has always been pretty straightforward. Just accept the terms, choose your location settings, test out the AI picture and sound settings, and install the apps that you need. It really only takes a few minutes to do. So the first thing we have to do with any new TV is take huge satisfaction in peeling these off. And here it is. So just like with most of the new LG TVs this year, the overall design of the TV is clean. We've got the usual thin bezels around the edges, and we also have a relatively thin frame. I mean, for a TV that's this big, the profile is actually quite thin. You'll also notice that the edge of the TV is metal rather than plastic, so it looks a little bit more premium than those that are plastic. It's giving me the vibe of the LG G3. It's also got some minimal branding on the corner, but other than that, it's got nothing else on here at all. And the stand is another thing. So in the past, we had that huge semicircle stand, which you often found on the QNED range. But it is nice that they have adopted this metal design instead. I did actually see this on their cheaper QNED 81 last month, and it gives it a desktop monitor vibe, and I think it looks a lot cleaner. Then around the back we have 4 HDMI ports in total, 2 of which are HDMI 2.1. There are a couple of USB ports, an Ethernet port, optical out, and the aerial ports. There's also Bluetooth 5.0 and Wi-Fi if you'd rather use that. As for the stand, well, this does have cable management built in, so you can hide all of your cables and keep them out of sight. Now I am obviously using the tabletop stand today, but you can wall mount this using the VESA holes. These are 400 by 400 and will work with any VESA bracket that supports both the measurements and the weight. And talking of the dimensions, I've put these on the screen now in case you need them for your own setup, plus a few others that you probably won't find online. And then we have the screen. So the model that I have here is the 75-inch version, but they also do it in a 55, 65 and 86 inches. Now I am a sucker for picking large TVs. I'm convinced that bigger really is better. There's just something about watching movies and gaming on a massive TV in your room, getting that ultimate big screen experience that you just cannot beat. Sticking a movie on at night or sitting back and smashing out a new game is just awesome. You really do get that cinematic experience no matter what you watch. So the QNED 86 is a 4K screen, but that's nothing new. I mean, I would be surprised if you could even buy a non-4K TV these days. But what it also offers are features that aren't typically found on the cheaper LCD TVs. The first thing is Dolby Vision, so we are getting both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, which if you've used either, you know it completely transforms both movies and TV shows when you watch it. Highlights and shadows are improved and the overall brightness is far greater, and watching content that supports HDR just looks stunning. Movies, TV shows, and of course any 4K HDR demo that you can find. It really makes this TV shine. Of course the colours are more rich and lifelike, but as it also uses the Mini-LED technology, you get incredible contrast and black levels. Only last week I was playing the new Spider-Man 2 game, and as you can see, the colours and vibrancy of this screen really is awesome. So typically speaking, if you get an LCD with edge-lit tech, it means you're prone to seeing serious light bleed or blooming, often found on the cheaper LCD TVs. But with the TVs that offer Mini-LED tech like this one, it's able to control far more areas of the TV and essentially dim the zones where the picture needs to be darker. And this is how we get those incredible black levels on an LCD TV. Watching it at night, you'd normally expect to see issues with the black levels, but with the right lighting, the black levels look great. There are of course a few occasions where you do see blooming around the images on a black background, but that's down to the fact that this is not an OLED TV, so it cannot possibly turn off every single pixel. But the precision dimming does a great job of controlling it. It also helps that LG have combined both quantum dot and nanocell technology to give us this ultimate evolution of LCD. Okay, so how many of you would want to game on a massive TV like 75 or 86 inches? Well, for me, there's something about gaming on a massive TV that just cannot be beaten. It is just so immersive. Now, we know of course that this looks good in terms of the picture quality, black levels, HDR and so on, but what's it actually like for gaming? What's the performance like? Well, over the last week I've been using it on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, testing out some of those incredible new games that we've seen over the last month. And from the gaming that I've done so far, this TV has exceeded my expectations. To be honest, every game that I've played this week has looked great. Spider-Man 2 has shown how vibrant and bright it can get, and the Crew Motorfest has shown how smooth it looks when running at 60 FPS. And if you like that cinematic style, Assassin's Creed Mirage looks great. But for me, Spider-Man 2 really shows what this TV is capable of. It's able to show off the motion handling, colours and black levels as well as VRR. Now the QNED 86 does come with 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, which means we're able to take full advantage of the 4K and 120Hz. And I can say now that gaming at 120Hz on a screen like this really is incredible. On top of that, it covers VRR and ALLM. ALLM is the auto low latency mode, and VRR is the variable refresh rate. This is what gives games a more smoother and stutter-free experience, and will help reduce screen tearing as well. Essentially, it allows the consoles, game and TV to match the variable frame rate. And in terms of the compatibility with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, here is the full list of green ticks that it can do on the Xbox. This TV meets every single requirement for both consoles. It also offers HGIG, which is designed to provide a far more accurate picture for gaming. Then there's the Game Optimizer mode. So LG have been great at catering for gamers over the last 3 to 4 years with this menu. This shows things like the current frame rate, if VRR is running, HDR and the quick profile selection. So you can quickly swap between the different modes and adjust the overall picture mode. Not only that, if you press the green button on your remote control a few times really quickly, you get this extra menu in the top corner. And this is how you can check if your game is running at the correct resolution and frame rate. And it is something I often do with new games. But if you don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, can you still game on a TV like this? Well, the short answer is yes, because it does allow you to do cloud gaming. This lets you stream the latest games with just a controller. There is no need to buy a console or a PC, as the TV will allow you to stream the game straight from the cloud. Okay, let's talk about the viewing angles and reflections. It's something that I always cover as I think it's important for those that might not be able to watch a TV straight on. So obviously straight on in front of the TV is going to be perfect. Colours are good, it's vibrant and loads of contrast. And as you move off center, you would normally expect the colours and contrast to take a huge hit, but this looks good. I think from any normal viewing angle, you're going to be fine with this. And like with any TV in any room, reflections are good if you can manage and control the lighting. Don't place it near a window and don't expect it to eliminate lights or windows directly opposite. But under normal viewing conditions, this looks good. And something that I've always liked about the new LG TVs is the UI. So recently LG have updated their WebOS to WebOS 23, and it's even cleaner and easier to use than before. So we get the quick cards across the top for things like the Home Hub, a gaming area and music. And there's also apps like Netflix, Disney Plus and Apple TV. And this is how I watch all of my TV shows and movies now. Everything is done through these apps on the TV. Now the Magic Remote is the same as we've seen for the last couple of years. It works well and I'm still a huge fan of being able to control the TV and menus with this cursor. And picture settings wise, I tend to use the Filmmaker mode or the ISF Expert Bright settings. But there is an AI picture wizard on these TVs as well. This basically shows you 6 groups of photos and you have to choose which one you prefer. Then based on those selections, it will tweak the overall picture profile and should hopefully give you a better result that you would like. And that's pretty clever. It's not something that I would personally use, as I like to spend a little bit of time tweaking the settings. As for sound, with this 75-inch TV comes with 4 speakers coming in at 40 watts. And with thanks to the virtual 5.1.2 provided by the AI Sound Pro, they actually sound okay. These aren't going to match any external soundbar or speakers that you buy, but for a TV like this, they're not bad at all. Here's a quick sound test comparing the internal speakers to my external speakers. So in summary, I think the 2023 QNED 86 is a pretty decent TV. It's not the cheapest in this year's lineup, but it's one of the best value for money in terms of spec, size and cost. We get HDMI 2.1, 120Hz, Dolby Vision, precision local dimming and loads more. It kind of ticks every box for both movies and gaming. I have linked to this model below which will show the current price and full specs. But let me know what size TV you currently game on and what size would you go for. Now drop a big TV in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my Spider-Man 2 video next, as it covers the new limited edition collector's edition that I unboxed last week. Well, thanks for watching, please like, sub and follow me everywhere. Until next time.